Hi, did you hear the news? They are ending the lockdown. Governments across the globe are thinking of ending the lockdown, and most of them have already started lifting up the restrictions that were imposed because of COVID-19 threat. Has COVID-19 gone? No, it's still there. Has COVID-19 stopped being a threat to human life? No, it's still a threat. Why do I say that? Because of the official stance adopted by organizations like World Health Organization, WHO, and also official statements put forth by different departments of different governments across the globe. And all these public health related entities and organizations have to say just one thing. If COVID-19 lockdown related restrictions are lifted up, then more people will get infected with the virus. And that's why the number of deaths is going to go up. But despite that, why are governments coming forward and they are talking about ending the lockdown? I made a video a long time ago when the lockdown was being imposed in many countries, and I predicted that the lockdown will not continue for a longer period of time. Because economy will have to come to the forefront, and the number of human lives that we were losing and are still losing, they will become only a statistic. They will be reduced to merely a number that will go to the background. And that is what is happening today. Despite there being concrete evidence made available to us by these trusted and credible organizations, that if we end the lockdown, many more human lives will become more vulnerable to COVID-19 virus, and many more lives will be lost. Why are governments still thinking of lifting the restrictions up? Why are they thinking of ending the lockdown? Some of them have already done so. There are some economies in the world who never cared to think about lockdown. Why is this happening? Why are we putting human lives at stake? And the answer is simple. It's profits over people. It's economy over people. Economy matters more than human lives. But the problem is whenever you hear those leaders talk, whether they are political leaders or corporate leaders, they never accept the reality the way it is. They never acknowledge it. They never admit that. So their articulation of the reality is always pro-humanity. And I'll explain you why. What's the reason that is being given now? That the cure cannot be worse than the disease. How can you say that the cure is worse than the disease? The disease is not COVID-19. The disease is the economic system. Yes, you have an economic system in place that makes human beings expendable. Yes, that's the truth. How? Whenever human lives come in conflict with profit making, or whenever human lives come in conflict with an economic activity that leads to profit making, the contemporary economic system prefers economy over people, is always profits over people. It's the reality. I'm not going into the merits of the argument. I'm just saying that it's the reality. And if it's the reality, the political discourse should not articulate it in a very humane way, trying to project that the decision to end the lockdown is being taken to save human lives. Of course, you have to save human lives because if they do not die of COVID-19, they will die of closed economy. It means that they have only two choices. Either the poor and the middle class can choose to die of COVID-19, or they can choose to die of hunger and poverty. Which one would they choose? That's why you have seen people in the public narrative coming forward and saying that I do not care if I die of COVID-19. That part is mostly silent. Why? Because the mainstream media wants to project the other part, that is, that open the economy. I want to start earning. They do not want to start earning because they want to reach to the top of the economic pyramid. They want to start earning. They want the economy to open. They are worried that if the economy doesn't open, they and their family will die of hunger. Forget about the aspirations that these people have in the contemporary economic system, that they want to achieve economic progress. Not only that, it's the question of their survival. That's why many more people will come out. I think the point was raised by a teacher at MIT. She said that if you do not give these people the economic support, No government, no police, nobody will be able to keep them in their houses. They will finally come to the streets. They will finally come onto the streets. I think she was referring to India, but the situation is same everywhere. Those people who hail from the lower part of the economic strata, they are dying to make a choice. And the choice is simple: COVID-19 or economy. They have no idea what it feels like when you suffer from COVID-19, but they have suffered at the hands of our economic system, and they know what is it like to be poor. They know what is it like to be the middle class, because they are them. They are the poor, they are the middle class, and they are very well aware of the fact that if the economy doesn't reopen soon, they will be putting at stake not only the lives of the infants and the elderly in their houses, but everybody else. They know that if the economy doesn't reopen soon, everybody in their family is going to be hungry. So it's not an easy decision to make, because if the economy reopens, they might or might not catch COVID-19, which is like 50-50% chance. Despite the fact that there is evidence that the likelihood of deaths increasing is very high. But if the economy reopens, these people, they might or might not catch COVID-19. But if the economy doesn't reopen, they are 100% sure that everybody in their family is going to suffer. So what can they say? They have to come out and tell everybody that reopen the economy. And this should not be used by people like the President of America. I think it's not only a crime against humanity, but also a severe onslaught on human logic and rational thinking. If we portray the stance that our economic system has forced our poor people, our middle class to take, that economy should be reopened, to project to the world at large that our economy is being reopened because our people want it. No, that's not what they want, but the economic system has left them with no choice. They have nowhere else to go. So please, the narrative like cure cannot be worse than the problem or the disease is the worst thing that we are doing. Forget humanity for the time being, because people are not even able to think properly. And narratives like these should be discarded. People do not want the economy to open. They want to live, but they will not be able to survive if we keep the economy closed. So that's why COVID-19 is not a bigger problem. Economic system, the way it has been designed so that we have to come up with these options only, is the worst thing that we have done to our humanity. Only if we care about our humanity. If we do not care about the humanity, I don't know about your decision. I know about mine, but it doesn't mean anything if I tell you what do I stand for. But seems that cumulative decision making of humanity has projected our economy to be more important than human beings. So do not buy into such narratives. Keep thinking. Stay at home if you can afford to. If you cannot afford to stay at home, you will have to go out. The governments are opening up economies. But anyway, take care of yourself. Thank you so much.